Hi, I'm Todd Mitchell, owner of Cybersecurity for Biz, and I want to talk to you today about the misconception that new software and hardware devices are secure when you first buy them. This is very false. Most things come out of the box without the defaults settings with security in mind. They're designed for you to install yourself easily, and they're not designed to be secure. They have settings in them that'll allow that, but you need to go in and set the settings yourself. One of the actions you need to take is to ensure devices are operating with the most current software, change the manufacturer's default password to be unique and your own, secure passphrase, and configure the privacy settings prior to use. Now, a perfect example of this is one of the largest manufacturers of home routers, Linksys, comes out of the box with a Wi-Fi setup, and it has a nice strong password to get on the Wi-Fi. But the router itself, to get into the settings, the username is admin and the password is password. And anybody can find this out, because if you just Google something along the lines of how do I access the settings on my Linksys router, it pops up with, half the time you don't even have to open the page. It shows up in the little description bar right there and says clearly, account admin equals admin, password is password. So when those are set in to the router and you don't go in and change them, then that means that anybody who can access your router, any of your friends, your kids' friends, somebody driving by, pulls up in front of your house on the side of the road, can access your network. They can get in to your router. Now, that is obviously not good security. So the first thing you need to do when you get a new device, whether it be a router, a printer, the Internet of Things nowadays, I mean, we could even be talking about refrigerators, coffee makers, your thermostat for your air conditioning, your Ring security system, all kinds of different objects nowadays are connected to your Wi-Fi network. All of those need to have a secure username and password that are yours uniquely and not whatever the manufacturer out of the box was. Now, there's a reason why the manufacturers have to do that. They can't give you a router that has a unique password and a unique username because they wouldn't know what it is. So if you call customer service, they're never going to be able to figure it out. Now, here's the other bad thing about these routers that I'm discussing and some of these other devices. When they have the default as admin for a username and the default password as password, anytime that is reset, it goes back to that. So you could make your own, my family's router, and the password is a bunch of hieroglyphic gobbledygook that nobody will ever be able to figure out, and you're really, really secure until the next thunderstorm and the power goes out for 15 minutes. When it comes back on, your router has reset itself back to factory settings, and you are no longer using that username and password to get into your router. You now are back to admin and password. This is a huge flaw in my opinion, but unfortunately, that's millions and millions of devices floating around out there that are set up this way. So you need to do your due diligence to make sure that your username and password is unique for each device inside of your network, in your house, on your small business. Whether it's routers, computers, printers, the Internet of Things devices, cell phones, all these different devices all have admin accounts set up on them to control the settings inside that device itself. Those things need to be safeguarded, especially. And the reason why I was pointing out a router is your gateway. I mean, think about it in your house. You're king of your little castle, and you've got all the devices in your house that speak to the outside world. How do they get to the outside world? They all travel either wirelessly or with a wire through your router, And that is the gateway to the outdoors. That is your connection to the outside world, the internet. It all comes through your router. And if that router can be compromised by anybody who has the capability of Googling what the username and password is for that type of router, then you are not secure at all. So just because something is new does not mean it is secure. If you have any other questions, you have any comments, feel free to call me, feel free to email me. If you think you would like some help figuring out how to set up your devices and make them more secure, I would love to give you a free consultation. And as always, stay tuned for the next video, and thank you very much.